Tonight, beat to the punch as elected officials debate mandatory masks. A Duluth business is taking matters into their own hands. And COVID closure. A bar in Superior is temporarily closing after people with COVID-19 spend time there. Plus, a positive report gives pause. New numbers show record job growth nationwide, why experts are still concerned.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anthony Matt. Kristen is off tonight. Thanks for joining us. As the citywide face mask debate heats up in Duluth, a restaurant owner is getting ahead of the game by implementing his own mask requirement in his two businesses. CBS3's Jesse Slater tells us why.
Burrito Union on 4th Street is making its own policy when it comes to health and safety as the pandemic ramps up.
We're going to require anyone who enters our restaurants to be wearing a face mask at all times,
with the exception of eating or drinking. The Mexican food joint made the call to require masks as they expect a flood of customers over the next few days.
This is something that we have been thinking about and talking about for a little bit, and we decided that tomorrow, before the 4th of July weekend, that might be a little bit busier.
Over on Superior Street, Ficker's Brew House is enforcing the same policy as both businesses are under the same ownership.
Safety, cleanliness, and making sure that we can still serve our food safely is really our #1 priority.
If you want to visit one of these spots but don't have a mask,
we'll have them for sale for $1 right at the front door. Or if they would prefer for us to run the food out to their car, we can still do curbside.
In terms of how long they will enforce the new rule, BU's general manager says as long as it takes to ensure all customers and staff can remain safe.
This is going to be the new normal for a bit.
Burrito Union's general manager said he hopes more restaurants in Duluth and across the state consider a face mask policy as well. Meanwhile, Minnesota health officials are urging the governor to issue a statewide mask mandate. There's concern the COVID case spikes other states are seeing could happen here in Minnesota. Health Commissioner Jan Malcolm says the evidence is increasingly clear masks are effective at slowing the spread. Governors in other states have mandated people wear masks in public. Governor Tim Walz says he's evaluating the situation every day. New at 10, a bar in Superior is temporarily closing after several COVID-19 positive people spent time there. President's Bar and Liquor in the Eloise neighborhood is closing their doors for the time being for cleaning. Health officials say if you've spent time there in the last 2 weeks, you should self-monitor for symptoms. If any develop, you're asked to get tested and self-isolate. It's unclear how long the bar will be closed for. It's also not known if the positive patients were customers, staff, or both. An attorney for the landlord of the home where Superior's Jamrock Cultural Restaurant operated says the restaurant should not have been allowed there because it did not have the proper permits. Responding to a story that aired on CBS3 on Monday night, attorney Lucas Wisniewski says his client did not evict restaurant owner Tony O'Neill from the home. Instead, he says O'Neill's tenancy was, quote, terminated after a 28-day notice. He says O'Neill left the landlord open to liability by engaging in this type of business without the proper permits. The city of Superior asked O'Neill to move to the Superior Business Center. CBS3 reported on Monday that the restaurant owner was evicted. And Dave's going to give us a quick look at the weather. Dave, hot one today. We got another one on tap for tomorrow.
I think we do, Tony.
Okay.
And today was a record breaker for at least 2 towns. And as we eye up the map here of today's high temps, I'll bet there's a lot of other records that went by the wayside here. High temp today in Duluth up over the hill. Airport number 93 degrees. Yep, that set 1937's record of 90 packing. Hibbing set a record 2 at 91. And look at Superior. Even folks there made 92. And they've been so persistently cooler by the lake the last couple of days, but boy, they caught up in spades today. 90 Hayward, 90 Ashland, 90 Solon Springs, 90 in Silver Bay, close to the lake. International Falls as well. And like we mentioned, similar temperatures coming around for tomorrow as high pressure continues to hold on to our region, bringing a sunny sky, which is one of the aggravating factors. A clear sunny sky lets a lot of solar radiation toast up the ground, which then rises into the air and makes thermometers read 88 degrees again come tomorrow. And it may be just as warm on the 4th of July too, but it will be slightly cooler by Sunday, perhaps slightly rainier as well. We'll take a look at the 7-day forecast coming up in just a bit.
Thanks, Dave. Watchful eyes are coming back to Park Point Beach. Duluth announced Thursday their lifeguard services will be starting up again July 10th. With the hot temps sure to draw in a big crowd this holiday weekend, city officials want to stress the importance of doing your part to keep the beach clean and your family safe.
We encourage families to do our stay safe, so social distancing, physical distancing from other groups on the beach, making sure they pack in and out their trash, and cleaning up after themselves, and just trying to spread out. We have 5 miles, so spread out as much as you can.
Once lifeguards return, they will only be there Friday through Sunday, noon to 5. They are funded through the city's partnership with the YMCA. If you're headed into the great outdoors this weekend, you're encouraged to be bear aware. Superior National Forest managers say there are several things you can do to protect yourself and the bears. If you're camping, make sure to keep all your food, cooking equipment, and garbage out of reach or in a bear-resistant container. Bears can also mistake the smell of personal items like lip balm or toothpaste for food. Keep your campsite clean. If you do encounter a bear, make noise to scare it away. New at 10, Minnesota's governor is asking for help from the federal government to rebuild after protests turned violent in the Twin Cities. In the wake of George Floyd's death, protests, fires, and looting caused extensive damage in the cities. Governor Tim Walz is asking for funding from FEMA. Nearly 1,500 businesses were damaged. Current estimates to recover sit at about $500 million. Walz is asking the president to declare a disaster in Minnesota. The funding would be used for debris removal and repairing damage to public buildings and equipment. More than $135,000 in grants has improved Wi-Fi access for people in Eveleth and Virginia. The Laurentian Chamber of Commerce secured the money as part of the Phase 1 of the Blandin Foundation Broadband Grant Program. It funded things like Wi-Fi on school buses, parks, and the Gilbert Campground. It also created the Shop the Range app and provided computers for people in need. Organizers say the grants played a big role in helping families have success with distance learning. They say it will also have a long-term impact improving people's quality of life. A story that raised some eyebrows yesterday has come to an end. City officials say they pulled a naked man out of the downtown Duluth sewer system. You might remember yesterday afternoon there was a large law enforcement presence near 3rd Avenue West. That's where they got a report a man had entered the sewer shortly after noon. His clothes were found near the manhole. Authorities searched for several hours on Wednesday, but called it off when they could not find him. Just after 5 o'clock this evening, a passerby heard someone calling for help from a manhole outside the Wells Fargo building on Superior Street. First responders pulled the naked man from the sewer. He was visibly in distress. City reps say they're glad it ended safely.
We were confident essentially yesterday when we closed the scene down that either the person had exited on their own or that we would be hearing from that person again. And so again, we're just happy that the person was found and that they're okay and are being treated for hypothermia at this time.
We don't know the man's current condition or if he will face a fine for trespassing in the sewer. The city is asking people to stay out of the sewer system. A new report on jobs released today shattered expectations. The U.S. added 4.8 million jobs in June, a record-setting gain. The unemployment rate fell to 11.1%, according to the Labor Department. But that good news comes with a pretty big catch. CBS's Adriana Diaz reports.
The nearly 5 million jobs gained sets the record for the most jobs ever added in a single month. And after nearly 20 million jobs were lost in the shutdown, that's welcome news. But there's a catch, says labor economist Diane Swank.
Because we already know from much more real-time data that the layoffs have already started and places have already had to close down, restaurant, bars, gyms, and many of the hot spots.
The numbers were taken before recent COVID surges pushed many states to relapse, something that haunts restaurant owner Ana Santos Vitello in Schaumburg, Illinois. She just reopened Brazil Express Grill last Friday after nearly 4 months closed.
I'm very concerned, Adriana, because if that happens again, I don't know. It's going to be very difficult to come back again.
Can you even imagine going through this one more time?
I can't. It would be horrible.
Her biggest fear is laying off her employees, like Chef Jorge Corona, a second time. Are you confident that the restaurant will be able to stay open, or are you not so sure?
I am now 50-50, believe me.
You're 50-50?
Yeah.
That's why when he's not here, he has a second job delivering packages for FedEx. Anything for security in this economy.
Congress is considering a second relief package, and today the Trump administration said it supports one that targets businesses. Still to come on Live Local CBS3, COVID-19 claims the life of a West Duluth legend who was vital in starting the annual Memorial Day Parade. We look back on her life next.
Here's a live look at the scene in Ashland, and it's a warm night, but it's a very calm night. Sultry weather like this doesn't come around for too long, but I will talk about how long this round will last after our break.
Live, local, CBS3 News at 10. With Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, local, CBS3.
Schneiderman's helps you celebrate life's happiest moments when everyone has a spot. Even spot. It's BOGO time at Schneiderman's. Buy one item and get another half off during the 4th of July sale at Schneiderman's Furniture.
Welcome to Medical Insight, a weekly healthcare feature brought to you by the experts at Essentia Health. Here's your host, Louis St. George.
Opioids are used primarily to treat pain, though they also can produce a state of euphoria, sometimes resulting in dependency or addiction. Dr. Joe Bianco, a physician at Essentia Health, has witnessed both the benefits and detriments of opioid use.
Opioids are very important in our daily medical practice. They make a big difference on how we treat our patients. The key is using them safely. So if you've been on opioids for a long time and you find that you need to take more and more, but your pain is getting worse or it's not getting any better, something to think about is reducing the amount of opioids that you're on, because sometimes opioids can cause more pain. The patient can always refuse to use them as well, or not wish to have them. And we have other means to take care of pain that we can explore with patients. Addiction is a chronic disease, just like any other disease. And too often we've moralized addiction. And what we're doing right now is encouraging people to see this as a medical condition, just like hypertension or diabetes.
Essentia Health has been a leader regionally in addressing the opioid epidemic. Within the past 5 years, we've seen a 50% decrease in patients started on opioids for chronic pain.
Three of the main ways that Essentia is addressing opioids is by reducing the amount of opioids within the community, treating pain differently, and for our patients who do have opioid use disorder or addiction, we're working on helping them manage their chronic disease. I'm encouraged by the progress that we're seeing in making a healthy difference in our patients' lives.
For Medical Insight, I'm Louis St. George.
This Medical Insight was brought to you by Essentia Health. To learn more about the services we offer, visit essentiahealth.org.
Schneiderman's helps you celebrate life's outrageous moments. More room for the king of the castle. Save up to $700 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable sets, plus get $300 sleep cash only at Schneiderman Sleep.
CBS3 Weather is brought to you by Lulich Implement. Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, let's talk about the temperatures today. Yeah, indeed, at Duluth International Airport, new record celebration. We did have a little snack at 6:30 around here with all that meat that was cooked up by the Stokies folks. So once a year, things work out. And temperature-wise, it worked out towards 93 up at the airport. Normal is 75. Fresh record. Old record is 90 from 1937. Most of our highest records, though, for our region come from 1936. Starting here in early July in the Dust Bowl years, where pretty soon in a couple of days we're going to see that Duluth's all-time high is coming up in the hundreds or so. I hope we don't break that. In fact, I think we'll break the back of this warm spell perhaps by Sunday. It'll still be warmer than normal, but it won't be close to 90 like it will be again tomorrow and 4th of July as well. What do we get right now? Temperature-wise up at the airport, still 77. Relative humidity has gone up to 76%. That's a little bit uncomfortable, of course, but think of it as helping to pitch in and fight the wildfire danger. The higher the humidity, the lower the chance for fires out there. Wind is calm right now, and that's too bad, really, because at least a little bit of a breeze would help make you feel better here. Air pressure's on the high side. Likely will stay high through Saturday morning. Then a couple of lows could bring some afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms here for our Independence Day. Temperatures right now have dipped down into the upper 60s in the Upper Peninsula, but still lower to even mid-70s here in northwestern Wisconsin. 72 right now, for example, in Superior, 73 for Moose Lake. 70 to 72 for much of the North Shore, though it has fallen to 58 right by the lake in Grand Marais, which again could be a good place to spend the night, just in case you're close by. And close by Ely at 70 degrees at the airport down Highway 1, 68 for Hibbing, 72 Grand Rapids, and 66 International Falls. For the next week, low temps likely will be in the 60s around our region, and daytime highs away from the lake will be in the 80s. But again, And once we get past Saturday, maybe we'll say goodbye to the 90s for another year and a half or 2 years, like the last round that we got. Okay, today, higher pressure had a hold of us here, and so it was on the dry and sunny side for the most part. But here's those 2 low pressure systems that are coming our way slowly. I'm thinking they'll be here by Saturday night, and by then, 20% chance for rain, which indeed doubles to a 40% chance for showers and storms by Sunday. So I think the 4th is probably going to work out. But do keep an eye to the sky as usual. A couple sun showers may kick up. Tonight in Minnesota, low temps run from 58 to 65 with a partly cloudy sky. It's partly cloudy in Wisconsin and the UP with lows there 63 to 65. For tomorrow, another toasty one. Wisconsin, Upper Peninsula, your highs will go 88 to 92 with sunshine. Sunshine on our shoulders. Hopefully it makes us happy here tomorrow in Minnesota. Inland highs probably 88 to 93, upper 70s by the lake. And with the extended forecast here, 88 to 93 is pretty warm by our standards. And so we'll knock that down a couple pegs by Sunday, drop into the lower 80s for the rest of the week. So like I said, pretty hot through Saturday, then still warmer than normal and very summery the rest of the week, Tony. But hopefully not as oppressive as it was for some towns today.
Yeah, I like it hot, but whew, it was steamy out there today. Man. Yeah. Thanks, Dave. COVID-19 claimed the life of a West Duluth legend just a couple of days ago. In honor of her memory, Dave Anderson tells us about Rosie Stratiotti, who was with the help of her husband, Joseph, founded West Duluth's 60-year-old Memorial Day Parade.
Rosie Stratiotti loved local baseball from the Dukes to the Huskies, but she loved local veterans even more. She organized West Duluth's first Memorial Day Parade in 1960 to pay them tribute.
I took and I started with 1 unit, just 1 unit, but we went.
Rosie kept that parade going for more than 50 years. It was a way for her to keep alive the memory of family who served and all who've fallen in battle.
Not only for my husband, but my dad was a World War I vet, but I'm glad to do for the veterans that gave their lives for their country.
Age eventually slowed Rosie from parade organizer to parade observer, with the hope, though, that others would keep her Memorial Day tradition going.
I just got to go on with it, and hoping that it'll continue on after I get quit.
Accepting this year's parade, which was canceled by COVID-19, the Duluth Women of Today organization has picked up Rosie's Memorial Day baton.
Rosie was 89 years old when she fell victim to COVID-19. Her family urges mourners to pay tribute by donating to the Minnesota Council for Veterans. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, Epstein's biggest alleged accomplice is behind bars tonight after federal agents arrested her after a year of searching.
CBS 3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Hi, John with Prime Appliance. It's our Grand Slam sale. We've hit it out of the park again 4 months in a row with super savings and another big 6% instant rebate on all in-stock appliances. Save over $2,000 on this beautiful 4-piece GE Cafe kitchen suite in matte white. Includes a counter-depth French door refrigerator, an electric double-oven induction slide-in range, a high-performance ultra-quiet dishwasher, and a convection over-the-range microwave. Only $93.49 after instant rebate. Prime Appliance is the best place to buy your appliances. Let us prove it to you.
Twin Ports Collision Repair is open for business. We're taking all of the necessary social distancing precautions to help keep you safe. We will also sanitize your vehicle and all loaner vehicles before and after service. Call us today or visit us online to set up your appointment.
At Super One Foods, you'll find more than just low prices and better choices. You'll find friendly faces like ours, working hard to save you money.
Super One has a tireless commitment to quality and freshness and a goal of delivering 5-star service to every customer to bring the absolute best value to your shopping experience. Check out these specials available at all Super One locations going on now.
So stop into the Super One Foods right in your neighborhood. Super One Foods, serving you low prices and better choices.
When the Kubota arrives, the workday gets easier.
serves you better than legitimate.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez, on CBS3.
The show critics are praising as genius is now the Emmy winner for Outstanding Talk Show Host. What? And the stars love it too.
It's so good.
The Kelly Clarkson Show, weekdays at 3 on Live Local CBS3.
Mariah Haberman here from Discover Wisconsin. Join me and the rest of the DW crew every week on this station for all things Wisconsin. Continue the adventure on social media and discoverwisconsin.com for behind-the-scenes content and great Wisconsin giveaways, including a chance to win a free vacation. This week's featured prize package could take you to Oak Creek. Just visit discoverwisconsin.com for details.
Get your new UTV from Duluth Lawn and Sports, the region's largest power sports dealer.
You work hard for your money and deserve to see it go the extra mile. Join us Wednesday mornings and hear from local experts on tips to better manage your finances in Eye on Money on Live Local CBS3. Brought to you by MPPL Financial. Watch Dave, Caitlin, and Austin for local weather you can trust on CBS.
Tonight, Ghislaine Maxwell, the alleged accomplice of accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein, is behind bars. This comes after federal agents closed in on a secluded New Hampshire farmhouse and arrested her. She is charged with 6 counts, including illegally transporting minors and perjury. CBS's Mola Lengi reports.
Tonight, the woman authorities have spent more than a year looking for is in custody. At 8:30 this morning, federal agents zeroed in on this New Hampshire house where they arrested Ghislaine Maxwell.
She had slithered away to a gorgeous property in New Hampshire, continuing to live a life of privilege while her victims live with the trauma inflicted upon them years ago.
Over the past year, there were unconfirmed reports she was in Brazil, even spotted at an In-N-Out burger in California.
Maxwell played a critical role in helping Epstein to identify, befriend, and groom minor victims for abuse. In some cases, Maxwell participated in the abuse herself.
Prosecutors allege Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's ex-girlfriend turned confidant, helped him recruit young girls from 1994 to at least 1997 to engage in lewd sex acts with the disgraced financier, who, just last year, killed himself in prison while awaiting federal trial in New York for abusing girls as young as 14. Jennifer Rose was just one of what are believed to be more than 100 Epstein victims.
She was definitely the center, the heart of it all, you know, if she even had one.
According to the criminal complaint, prosecutors say Maxwell would try to normalize sexual abuse for minor victims by discussing sexual topics, undressing in front of the victims, being present for sex acts. The indictment continues. Maxwell encouraged victims to provide massages to Epstein, including sexual massages, during which a minor victim would be fully or partially nude.
She knows so much. She knows everything that he knew.
Is Ghislaine Maxwell the next best thing?
Right now, yes, I think that is. Yeah, I think she's right there with him.
CBS News legal analyst Ricky Kleeman says she can still cooperate with prosecutors.
In this case would certainly mean she would do some time, but she would cooperate against others, and we would expect they would be the rich and the powerful.
Maxwell denies all wrongdoing. Today, prosecutors urged a judge to deny her bail, saying she posed an extreme flight risk. Coming up in sports, a former WNBA superstar helps justice be served. Kelly has a story coming up.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez, on CBS3.
Kelly Hinseth takes her job at full throttle. There's no slowing down. She's full of enthusiasm.
Kelly brings a youthful exuberance to the newscast. She's loaded with energy. She's really passionate about sports.
I think even if you're not interested in sports, she draws you in.
She's always up and ready to go and ready to show us the latest in sports.
Get to know Kelly Hinseth weekday nights on Live Local CBS3. Every second of every day, it happens. Something big, something worth talking about. News happens, and you can't wait for it. You need to be constantly digging, asking, hunting, wanting more. More truth, more real answers. More who, what, where, when, and why. And it's about you. It's about now. It's about wherever, whenever. At Live Local CBS3, it's about the news, your neighborhood news.
Duluth's downtown waterfront district is starting to reopen. Our small, locally owned businesses have hope. They're excited to safely serve you, and most of all, they miss you. Now is the time to show your support and invest in buying locally. When you support a local business owner and their employees, your dollars stay in our community, right where they belong. It gives a jump start to our economy when it's needed more than ever. We can do this. Let's show our love for downtown Duluth small businesses. Together, we are stronger.
When news happens, CBS3 is there. We're cutting in with a follow-up to some breaking news.
Anytime, day or night, more cases of the coronavirus are popping up across the Northland.
The only confirmed cases in northeastern Minnesota.
Not go shopping today unless you absolutely must. Do not collect any supplies or equipment unless you absolutely need it today.
The Northland has seen its first coronavirus-related death.
For breaking stories that impact the Northland most, tune to CBS3.
Dude! You gonna pick that up? Because there's no poop fairy to do that for you. See? Take these. They're not just poop bags. They're pride bags. Because you're doing the right thing for your neighbors and for the health of the whole watershed. Gotta fly. There's a Chihuahua cranking one out in Leicester right now. There is no poop fairy.
Bonjour and Dinaway Maganadug. Hello, all my relatives. I'm Dr. Arnie Vinio, and I live in Duluth, and I love Duluth and the surrounding communities. Keeping COVID-19 from spreading is going to depend on all of us. Washing our hands frequently, keeping social distance, staying home if you can, and wearing a face mask is important. We need to keep our elders and those most vulnerable safe. This is about respect. This is about love.
Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
The day that Minnesota Lynx star Maya Moore has been hoping for has finally happened. Yesterday, Jonathan Irons walked away from the Jefferson City Correctional Center as a free man. Moore put her basketball career on hold last year, sitting out this past season to focus on having Irons' conviction for burglary and assault with a weapon overturned. Emotions of joy and relief were visible as Moore dropped to her knees and then joined Irons and others in a group hug. Moore met Irons when she visited the Missouri Correctional Center before she attended the University of Connecticut. Irons, who is now 40, served 22 years of a 50-year sentence following his wrongful conviction. Well, the reboot of the NBA season is scheduled to happen at the end of this month, and via a release today, 9 more players tested positive last week for the coronavirus. In total, 25 players have tested positive since testing began back on June 23rd. The NBA also announced that 10 of 884 team staff members have tested positive as well. Anyone who tested positive will remain in isolation until they clear public health protocols and are cleared by a physician. Well, I am here to report that at this time, barring any future circumstances, UMD Fall Athletics have their eyes on returning to sports this coming fall. The first step in what is sure to be a long process was released earlier today. The campus is getting ready to allow student athletes back on campus. The athletic department announced that it will begin a phased approach in getting students back. Starting this Monday, approximately 100 Bulldog student athletes will be allowed for limited voluntary workouts, as well as a whole bunch of assessments, as well as screenings. University Assistant Athletic Director of Sports Medicine and Performance, Dr. Michael Wenninger, said University of Minnesota Duluth Athletics is committed to providing a safe and healthy environment for their student athletes. He's proud of the collaborative efforts between the UMD Sports Medicine staff, Essentia Health, and University of Minnesota system experts. Individuals will also be required to wear face coverings and masks, practice physical distancing, sanitize their hands regularly, and only be on campus during their designated workout time. There will be no access to the locker room, showers, or players' lounge. Baby steps. Baseball fans can at least rejoice about something so early in this month. Baseball is back in the state of Wisconsin. It's not quite the majors, but plenty of fans still showed up for the opening day of the Northwoods League over there, comprised of the top college players in the country. The Green Bay Booyah are back to playing ball, and fans of all ages came out for opening day. Scott McDonald came to Capital Credit Union at Park all the way from Arizona to cheer on his son, who hasn't played a game in almost 3 months.
It's been hard on a lot of these kids, so this is a great opportunity. The Green Bay Booyah staff has done an excellent job making the facility as clean as possible. They've spread out the seats is really great. Withdrawal's over. Like, you can finally sit out here and be with the people and the fans and see these kids play hard, and it's just great. You know, it's where we're supposed to be.
The Capital Credit Union Park, that is a mouthful, had its COVID-19 game day safety guidelines in full effect. Only credit cards would be used at concessions, hand sanitizing stations around the entire stadium. Workers were required to wear masks, and tickets were sold to small groups of people in all groups and remained socially distanced in the stands. That's going to do it for sports tonight. We'll be right back after the break.
CBS3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health Pharmacies, keeping things safe, simple, and convenient through mail, local delivery, drive-through, and curbside pickup services.
Want to do more to help your community? The All of Us Research Program is a great way to contribute to health discoveries for today and the future. Call, visit us online, or download the All of Us app to learn how you can make a difference.
When severe weather hits, tune to CBS3.
Tonight at 10, we'll be out here in the storm.
For up-to-date coverage morning and night.
Stay away from here.
Live local weather coverage on CBS3 Duluth.
The show critics are praising as genius is now the Emmy winner for Outstanding Talk Show Host.
That's a standing ovation.
Yeah. And the stars love it too.
You're so good.
America's Sweetheart is a hit and everything we love.
Oh my God!
This is why we connect. Hey. You say y'all, I say y'all. That's how you say it. Hey. You're wrong.
The Kelly Clarkson Show, weekdays at 3 on Live Local CBS3.
I got into journalism when I was in high school, actually, and that's where I really fell in love with the news and the storytelling aspect of it, being able to bring those things together and keep people informed. It's so important for us to be in a community like Duluth, to be able to hear your stories and then bring them to everybody else in the community.
Wake up with Austin and Jenna at 5 a.m.
I grew up in a mining household. That's generations in my family. It's a big issue to folks up here. Well, not just the breaking news type of stories, but the stories that impact the people who work in the mines, who live in mining communities. We're going above and beyond to get the full story.
Eye on Mining with Kristen Vaki, Tuesdays at 10 on Live Local CBS.
Dude! You gonna pick that up? Because there's no poop fairy to do that for you. See? Take these. They're not just poop bags. They're pride bags. Because you're doing the right thing for your neighbors and for the health of the whole watershed. Gotta fly. There's a Chihuahua cranking one out in Leicester right now. There is no poop fairy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Charity Reynolds. I would like to remind you that COVID-19 is still around. Remember to wash your hands, wear your mask, and stay home as much as possible. Thank you.
Before we go, here's a video of a very happy animal trying to get a cool down. In Arizona, this orangutan was beating the heat by taking a nice, refreshing dip in a makeshift pool. This little guy is a Bornean orangutan, which are listed as critically endangered species by the International Union for Conservation of Nature. Dave, I think there's a lot of people that could have used a little pool for a cool down around Duluth and the whole Northland today.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
of course, I bet that orangutan has heard its whole life. Right turn, Clyde, from the old Clint Eastwood movie there. Right turn into cooler weather. Maybe on Sunday it'll be slightly cooler, but from now until then, this heat wave with 90-degree temperatures is going to stick around. 88 to 93 or so for Friday and Saturday. And it'll be sunny on Friday. Saturday, 4th of July's rain chance is only a 20% chance, and it's late in the day. It's the precursor to a couple of weak lows that bring a 40% chance on Sunday. But the cloud cover with those lows will take temperatures down about 5 to 10 degrees, which probably by then is going to feel pretty fantastic after these warm and muggy days.
Some good weather for the lake there. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow night.